We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. There was a nation living in peace and unity. Yeah. They are people with love and harmony. Oh, yeah. They saw greatness rise up to its purity. With another people of different culture, a dear heritage, biased and oppressive. Oh, I see. A nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time, nobody gonna praise us. Rather, you all gonna embrace her. With your flag, with your flag, with your flag, with your flag. Oh, yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh, it's my home. Yeah, Biafra is our home.
I reminisce way back 1967. Death toll on the blood couldn't count them even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pops on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. Sitting back in the crib, watching our suffering. Should I talk about the place dropping shells like rain? Suka had the first taste of a hero's blood. Abagana Zobuni wave was stronger than flood, but the juke is too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone, then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. So bloody name, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my veins. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the world was against us. Man.
Wave your flag over Africa. Welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion. It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. Yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. I see the rising sun from Africa. Oh, this is sign of victory. Oh, yeah. I see future in Africa. Oh, yeah. People of Biafra. See light shining on the world. Oh, yeah.
What's that marathon? We're not fighting each other. We know where we're going. We're going to get Biafra. There is nothing anybody can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I need them to understand this. We've crossed the Rubicon, the point of no return. There is nothing anybody can do. If I'm alive, if I'm dead, if I'm wherever I may be, Biafra will come. If I'm dead, it's even better because it will come far more quicker. I can assure you. If Biafra is fighting for you, no one will touch your property. If you're fighting alone, you're bound to lose it. So Biafra is the best. We will become the 16th member country of ECOWAS. If Nigeria doesn't release those properties, then we'll take them to court and we'll get them back, even twice the value. The Jews had investments all over the world. Most of the priceless artifacts and paintings belong to many families in Germany. It was stolen by the Nazi Party. Do you know that? Eventually they got everything back, with compensation on top of it. That's what we're going to do. If you touch our investments, we'll come back for you, and we'll know where we can get it from. So there is nothing for anyone to worry about. It's only if I'm not stopping you from being a Nigerian, if you are born on the streets of Lagos and you want to be a Lagosian and your name is Adamma, oh, well and good. There's no problem.
Onye si na agata anya ahụhụ ma ọ bụ na anyị fe arụsị anyị wee na-efe arụsị mgbe were iwe gị na ọmụma gị wee bịa leta anyị ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụsị ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị konye ka ọ gaa ubi gaa rụọ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gị ndị okwu ebepụghị isi anyị pụta anyị kpọpụ onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọbụla anyị mara aka n'ime ha si maka ha aga n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọya nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra ebe ndị kọstọm sokwenye anyị n'etiti anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm jiri ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwe sịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwe sịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị anya ka isi na-ekwu ndị iro anyị n'anya wee karịa ndị nke gị akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizoba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro bi na anyị bụ ụmụ gị bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ like you were to ozu. Oh, go on, memory like Goliath. Chineke na nke igwe ruo memory n'afọ. Chukwu otu a mee ka fero ọgụ onye home on the IPO biko wee taa akọkọ igwe ọtọ ọsọ. Ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume. Ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ. Ọ bụ nwa bụ ekele n'igwe n'ụwa nwunye ọbụla kere gị n'oge malite n'oge ọgwụgwụ kama anyị onwe anyị kwa anọkwa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie kama ma akpọ n'okwu gị na-anọgide ebe mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya isi anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ bịa ka iwe gosi anyị Biafra na ndụ ma abụghị n'ọnwụ bịa ka iwe na-ekebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site na aha gị ma ibuchi oke abịa ma
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this very evening section. I appreciate every one of you that have been able to connect on this evening program. Please like and share to your platform, share to family and friends, share to everyone that is close to you. Let us carry this message to the ends of the world. It is very important. We must continue to spread the gospel. No matter how difficult it is, we must continue to speak. I will do my own part. You equally do your own part. Like and share to all platforms. Share to family and friends. Share to everyone that is close to you. This is our evening section. Remember, in our evening program, it's just a continuation of what we did in the morning. And we'll continue to do a recap and also update on Nigerian media. Information that are coming from Nigerian media for you to understand the true situation of things. So this evening, we are continuing on similar thing we discussed in the morning, which is unending bloodshed, how government action betray the public and push Biafra to reality. Unending bloodshed, how the government action, what Nigerian government is doing, push Biafra actualization to reality. How the government have betrayed its own people. Just like we said in the morning, the action and inaction of the Nigerian government shows that they are not interested in protecting the life and properties of the people. We all know that the primary objective, the primary responsibility of a government is to protect life and property of the people. But that is not the case in Nigeria. In the case of Nigeria, their primary objective is to make sure that the people are enslaved, to make sure that the people are damaged, to make sure that people are intimidated. But we cannot keep silent because of that. It is obvious that every single insecurity in Nigeria is sponsored by the government, by their actions and inactions. So don't ask me how. Don't ask me why do I say that. All you need to do is to go to their own conventional media and you hear the report that is coming there, not just from the social media. Of course, in social media, there are thousands of informations that confirm the fact that the Nigerian government is the one perpetrating the atrocities in Nigeria. They are the ones sponsoring and enabling the insecurity. They are working hand in hand with terrorists. At the same time, while the terrorists are decimating people, collecting ransom, they are busy freeing the terrorists, also giving them sponsorship and taking them abroad. So when you see all these things happening, there is no doubt that Nigeria is a failed state. And it is only when you watch with an open mind and open heart will you understand the gravity of the situation. You will not understand the gravity of the situation. But when you look, you find that Nigeria is working the way the owners of Nigeria want it to work. Nigeria is working the way the people that put it in place want it to, because at the first place, Nigeria was put in place for control and for economic interest. So as long as the Janjaweed and the British has control on the people, as long as they have control of the masses, as long as the mineral resources continue to flow, it is okay by them. And how do they make those things possible? They make those things possible by creating insecurity, by creating fear, by making sure that nothing functions in Nigeria. That is why, regardless of the effort you make, regardless who becomes your president today or tomorrow, the situation will get worse. And any reasonable human being, no responsible and reasonable person will ever ask for his own tribe to go in there. Because once you go in there, the atrocities against your people will be higher. Look at today. Tinubu is the president. Kwara State is going down every day. Kwara State is almost the highest, the most attacked state today in the southwest. Put Peter Obi there tomorrow, I bet you Enugu State will be taken over completely. If Peter Obi becomes the president of Nigeria, Enugu State will be in the hand of the terrorists. This is a written script that you cannot change as long as you are still under Nigeria. The only way you can change the script is to walk away from Nigeria. Once you walk away from Nigeria, this script stops working for you. But as long as you continue to parade yourself as a Nigerian, as long as you continue to deceive yourself in this so-called one Nigeria, I bet you everybody is going to pay a very heavy price. And it's going to get to a time where you will not see anybody to complain to. If we do not end Nigeria, Nigeria will end every one of us. More especially for those of us who are Biafrans. You can see how they have increased in their accusation, in their manipulation. Accusation, unnecessary accusations against Biafra, blackmailing of the Biafran people. Just like recently, when something happened in a different place, kidnappers, Fulani kidnappers kidnapped people, collected ransom, and people were rescued and people were captured. And then what do? They now say it is IPOB. They target IPOB. There is a recent one that is still online where somebody, a Yoruba person, was caught on drug case, and they went and edited his passport and they put Igbo name. A Yoruba person. They presented a fake passport bearing Igbo name. Meanwhile, the person who is involved in that drug case is a Yoruba man. These people are trying everything they can to tarnish the image of the Igbo Biafrans, tagging us with things that has nothing to do with us, trying to make sure they paint a picture to the world that we are the troublemakers, we are the violent ones. They will try everything they can. They'll show the world that we are unstable. But when you check the real statistics, go to the United States. The most hardworking people in the United States and the most educated are the Igbos, the Biafran people. You go to the UK, the same thing. The most educated and most hardworking are the Igbos. Any part of the world where you go, they are the most industrious. But what do? When one person commits a crime, they paint it Igbos. If not that this very recent one was dictated, a Yoruba person committed a crime and they went and edited the passport to an Igbo person. They put an Igbo name. Unfortunately for them, they could not spell the Igbo name very well. And people digged it out. And upon that, they are still defending it. They are still defending it. That is how bad Nigeria is. That is how evil Nigeria is. Nigeria is not for you, it's not for me. And the area, more especially the Igbo Biafrans, realize this, the better for all of us, because Nigeria is not meant for you and I. We have to talk about our issue because we are the people that are directly affected. It is not only us that are suffering, even though other regions, they relax and pretend, oh, because their name is not mentioned. Other regions, they relax. After all, their name was not mentioned. After all, they are not the one in the front line. But that does not exempt them. Everyone is facing the challenge. Everyone is facing the challenge. I want us to listen to this. Let us listen for you to know how deadly the situation of things is. Because when we talk about these issues, some of you do not understand the seriousness of the matter. How hard the Nigerian government is trying so much to blackmail us. They do not want us in their Nigeria. And we say, allow us to go, yet they don't want us to go. They continue to blackmail us. They continue to give us bad names in the same contraption called Nigeria. We say we don't want to be part of them anymore. After all, we are not wanted. Then why wouldn't you let us go? Instead of allowing us to go peacefully, allow us to go peacefully. Let there be disintegration of the Zoological Republic. Peaceful disintegration. Everybody go their separate ways. You don't want it. And yet, you keep on attacking us every day. You keep on blackmailing us every day. I want you to listen to this. Listen to this.
Because the recent claim now by the Nigerian army that they went to their kidnap team or whatever and fetched arms and all that and recovered $2 billion, and that it is IPOB, directly IPOB, that was involved. I mean, this thing is too childish now. Even little children don't feel lie like this now. It can't lie too much now. Is it not that obvious that you guys are playing with Nigerians? You guys are playing with people. Now you want to use this IPOB theory to justify the killings that you have perpetrated in Southeast for over the years.
Exactly.
Now it is like you don't want to let go again. That as long as we have started, let us start and complete what we have started doing. What is it with you and IPOB? What is it with you people and the people? What offense did they commit to people? What did they do to you people, Nigerian army?
I don't know.
You said they should come to join your army. They refused. They said they would not. Because your attitude is the reason why people refuse. Even at time of state and the rest people have seen that they can no longer join your army. This is terrible of you now. What have they got to do? What do you have with people? Because now every little thing, two fighting take place for Southeast, you said IPOB. Two husband and wife fight, one kill each other. You said IPOB. So Nigerian army does not have any other means of communication that they will have to be misguided in this method. Only they will come say disclaimer that people who are spreading this information, they are misleading and that they are IPOB. You Where is the IPOB in Southeast? I mean, this is becoming misleading. It looks like you want to use every justification. You want to use something as a justification to kill the Igbo, to kill Igbo youth. And this must be, we need to call you people out for God's sake. What do you people think about me now? So every now and then I'm going to call IPOP for every little thing. So the everywhere we don't say, we stay on the other side. We don't say these people are like they talk. Now as media will come carry out without even finding out. All the media they will carry out. All the Yoruba media, all the Hausa media, they will just carry out. Once Nigeria don't come lie, this kind of big lie. Everybody don't carry out better than the lie. Stop lying with impunity. Stop lying with impunity. If truly you want us to be one nation, some of us have refused.
We can never be one nation.
The theory of Biafra. But we know why we are doing that. It's not as if we are not suffering, we are not having it hot here in Nigeria. We are all having it hot. There is nobody that will suffer what the Igbo is presently facing that will not want to say, let's separate this country. The way you people are marginalizing and the way you people are segregating the Igbo, if you were in their shoes, you will also call for separation of Nigeria. Make an stop to the July say, on too much. Because if the Yoruba people die, they choose some people. And I will not cry from that tomorrow. Call over. Enough of these lies you parade spread around in Southeast. Everything I put so they will not turn they realize it as a lie. These people they lie to us all this time. You first came up with unknown government. Unknown government. Who brought about this theory of unknown government? From Nigeria. It was the media and the Nigerian military. Unknown government did not come from IPOB. It started with unknown government. When they now saw that they don't know how to link them up, they now came up and started adding IPOB to it. You can't even link these things. Unknown government, who brought that name? Unknown government. Unknown government. For Nigeria, who brought the name? I bet they cannot stop these things becoming childish. Every now and then, Southeast. Every now and then, Igbo. Every now and then, IPOB. And you have forgot to know that this IPOB you're talking about is in the blood of an average Igbo man. Every Igbo man you see from up to forget this who was when they start politics, when they sue with each other. Every average Igbo man you see in Nigeria, they are blooded IPOB member. They are blooded. They get sick. You think they are blood. Forget say you see that they parade them, they go ahead with their business. They are all IPOB members. So who do you want to tag terrorists now? Who do you want to tag terrorists? You want to tag the entire race, the terrorist people?
That is what they have done.
You're just deceiving yourself. Every now and then, IPOB. You know I'm going to rest again. Everything IPOB. Small people is still that person shoe. Was out is in IPOB. Now you have been disgraced by the same Harrison. Harrison don't disgrace on our own. The same information you teach us to deceive Nigerians that it was IPOB that kidnapped people, and you went on to recover 2 million naira from them. Now it has been did. Now look at it. Harrison don't come to display say there was no such thing as IPOB and that they never saw IPOB. It was a mere kidnapping situation. But now I know they change the narrative now. Carry on the go IPOB again. Abba, you cannot try and repent now. Why are you people like this? Is everything has to do with propaganda and trying to change the narrative. You want the world to always know that there is a problem in Southeast as a justification to killing people. The way the thing just be, like say the pain of the ravaging of terrorists in the north. It's paining you people that it is not actually in Southeast.
Exactly.
Because I believe that if it was in Southeast, and I for all rest this IPOB issue, and I for not even worry myself with IPOB again. Nobody for mentioned IPOB again.
Yeah.
But because the thing when they go on now for Nigeria and for North, they go on, the thing they pain the Nigerian military.
Absolutely.
That's why they want to tag the IPOB. Every now and then, IPOB. It is too childish for that. It's too childish. It's becoming childish. Come in Nigeria. I'm calling you people out to tell you that this is becoming too childish.
Well spoken. You know, I thank God that this day it is not only Igbo people talking, other people are talking and they are seeing it. This very tagging us with bad name have been happening for many, many years. You give dog a bad name to kill it. They have been giving us bad names. They have been accusing us unnecessarily. They have been attacking us. They have been killing us and continue up to this moment. And when we say, they say, why do we want to go? Nigeria is not one and can never ever be one. No matter how you try to force it to make it one, you are only postponing the doom day. And the doom day will definitely come. And when it comes, I bet you are going to pay a heavy price. When it comes, you will pay a heavy price that you cannot be able to handle. That time is
At this
coming.
point in time, there is a need for us to ask ourselves, who are the benefactors of one Nigeria? Who are the people that are benefiting from one Nigeria? Is Nigeria truly one? The most stupid thing I've come to understand over time is the fact that whenever somebody come up to talk about the need to divide Nigeria, a lot of fools think that it is a bad idea. We see it as a bad thing. We see it as a criminal offense.
That is
for somebody
it.
to say Nigeria is supposed to be divided. Meanwhile, Nigeria is not united.
We are not, have never been.
From 1914 up to date, when Nigeria was amalgamated,
Has never been
to this point,
united.
if you take a look at a critical aspect of our society, you will realize that the Northerners have been migrating to the south in uncountable number, the same way the Southerners have been migrating to the north. And this migration has been very, very active. But yet, if you talk about Northern Nigeria, it is easy for you to know the people of Northern Nigeria and segregate them. If you talk about Southern Nigeria, it is easy for you to segregate them. Why? Because there was no intermarital
Different value system apart from marital affairs. We have different value system. You can't be able to neutralize it.
Hausa cannot marry Yoruba because of what? Religion.
Our value and their value is not the same.
Sometimes we compare ourselves to US, to different countries of the world, to China. If you go to China, there is nothing like somebody from North China cannot marry somebody from South China. Everybody in China, once they meet themselves, they find love within themselves, they get married to themselves. The same thing with America. There's nothing like there is a part of America that don't marry the other part of America. But in Nigeria, if we have been intermarrying within ourselves since the amalgamation of Nigeria till this point, it would have been very, very, very difficult for you to talk about one ethnic group successfully, because we would have had over 11 million people whose fathers are Igbo and their mothers are Hausa, and over 20 million people whose fathers are Hausa and their mothers are Igbo. The same thing with Yoruba. And that intermarital relationship would have deleted everything that has to do with tribalism and nepotism among us. But it is not possible. So, you will see that the amalgamation of Nigeria was done in a very clinical manner that keep us segregated. So that there will be just like
marriage is not even the issue. Even the people that marry the Igbo, they are still having that bitterness. This value system is not the same. The educated ones that married, look at Fani Kayode. Fani Kayode married an Igbo woman with 2 Igbo boys that was born to him, 2 kids. But today, he is the greatest haters of the Igbos. So this is not about marriage. It is not about marriage. The value system of the South, the Southwest, the North, and the Middle Belt is not the same. We are totally different countries forcing ourselves to be together. And it will never, ever work.
mixing a cup of oil with a cup of water, knowing fully well that they will not mix together, so that we can easily be exploited. And whenever you talk about Nigeria, who are the people that are benefiting from it? A very few elites. Who are the stakeholders of the British business that has been invented? So, why is it possible for new countries to be in Europe? If you go to Europe from the year 2000 to 2026, as we speak, almost 30 countries have been formed. New countries without agitation, without war, without fight. So, why is it easy for new countries to be formed in other places around the globe? Kosovo, Serbia, Slovakia, Montenegro, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, different countries. New countries have been formed peacefully. But if it comes down to our own place here, to form a new country is a big deal. Why? Mind you, if you go to Europe, you will realize that Lagos is bigger than countries like Greece, Portugal, Sweden, Switzerland, Belgium, different countries of Europe, Lagos alone. And I bet you that all the states in Nigeria, including the smallest states, Ebonyi State, Bayelsa, and wherever, Nasarawa State, are far bigger than many countries of the world. So I ask you, why is it a crime? Why is it a sin to talk about a new country in Nigeria, in Africa, without conflict? Why can't we divide without fighting, without conflict?
Ask
And who is
them,
behind this conflict
ask
that
them.
we experience whenever we talk about division?
Ask
Nigeria
them.
is a blessed country. And virtually every region, every part of this country have abundance of
Absolutely. They
that
have
can rely
enough.
upon. So if we are talking about
To
the
keep
division of
them.
Nigeria, we are not even supposed to be talking about dividing into 2 or 3 or 4. And the most idiotic thing that has happened in Nigeria is to talk about the 3 major ethnic groups. There is no need for us to talk about any ethnic group as being the major ethnic group. Because if you have a 3 major ethnic group where Hausa is the biggest, Yoruba and Igbo, then how will you now talk about the other ethnic groups? So
that is why we are calling for referendum. Referendum. People will choose where they are.
Number 30, number 40. We are not supposed to have the same country by nature. Because if you talk about agriculture, for instance, why the southern part of Nigeria is planning their farming system in such a manner that excessive rainfall should be controlled in their farm, the northern part of Nigeria is planning their agricultural system in such a manner that excessive drought should be controlled through irrigation. So if you are making your ridges in the north to conserve water around your plant roots in the north, somebody in the south is making their ridges in such a manner that will overflow excess water from the plant root. But yet, we are studying the same curriculum, we are studying the same agriculture, we are using the same textbooks, but the environmental dispensation of these 2 regions are completely different, and the cultural practices that could work in the northern part of Nigeria cannot work in the southern part of Nigeria. If you go to the north, a typical northern child will have to learn Arabic language through the Quran, learn Hausa language, and learn English language. Just one child. Just one child learning 3 languages. Tell me why they won't become an Alemagiri or idiot. Tell me how they can be able to function effectively when the child is being born with 3 different complex languages with complex lexicons being comprehended by one single child. Nobody thinks about the impact of such confusion. You are putting a little child, they must study Arabic to learn the Quran. They read from the left to the right to know the Quran. Then they read from the right to the left to know chemistry and mathematics. Tell me how it can work. And if you look at the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the lawmakers, take a look at the complexity of grammar they are speaking there. Take a look at the English they are speaking on the floor of our Senate. For a country where over 70% of the citizens are illiterate. So, if you are making laws for your citizens and you are making such laws in language they don't understand, how can somebody obey a law they don't understand, a law they cannot interpret? And you are talking about one Nigeria. Nigeria is due for segregation. It's due for division. Anybody that tells you anything otherwise is just fooling you.
Absolutely.
And there is abundance of resources in every region of this country to sustain itself. I won't lie to you. There is no revolution that can change the status of this country.
Nothing.
There is no protest. There is no, whether peaceful or violent.
Supported. I agree with you.
The only way Nigeria can get better is to divide peacefully.
Simple.
Let us have a national conference, sit on a round table, know how many countries Nigeria can be divided to peacefully, considering the ethnic and socio-cultural diversities of these people, and know how we can segregate them into peaceful nation. Even if it takes one local government to become a country of their own, let us have it.
So be it.
And if we can have international relationship like the European Union or any union we want to call it at the central level, where one passport of one of the segregated countries can be functional in each other part of the country, let us have it. But as I speak with you, there is nothing that can stop the problem of this country.
Nothing.
Except division.
Exactly.
Division. From a round table, I let each region go back to their home, secure their people, secure their mineral resources, mine it, exploit it in the best interest of their people. Because the people that amalgamated Nigeria does not consider the difficulties and diversity of this country and how it will affect our existence. I bet you, nobody can, even if you met Atiku, Obi, Tinubu, Adeshi, and all of them together, they cannot solve the problem.
Never.
Make them into one president, they cannot solve the problem of this country. Because one region is our turn, the other region is our turn. Nobody's checked the credibility. Nobody checked, they are appointing only Yoruba, they are appointing only Hausa. But there won't be such if it is only Yoruba that have their own state. So, I bet you, it is important for us to sit on the round table and question ourselves again. Who are the benefactors of one Nigeria? Is it the British that amalgamated us?
Definitely the British.
Diversity, the religious and social-cultural diversity? Or is it the present leaders, the elites, or the citizens of this country? What is the benefit of one Nigeria to a common citizen of Nigeria? That is a low average life citizen of Nigeria. What is the benefit? What does the person benefit from holding a Nigerian passport? What was the best
Nothing.
thing for people?
Absolutely nothing.
Comment section is open. Tell me just one thing that somebody benefit from this.
Absolutely nothing. There is nothing to tell you, my brother.
It seems to exist.
There is nothing to tell you. He has said it all. He has said it all. He said it is very important that we begin to play people's video. Let it not be that it is only we speaking every time. Now we they talk. Now we they talk. People are talking. Nigeria is gone. People have lost their life. Life has no meaning. When we speak, people think it's just us talking. So we bring other people to also air their opinion. So that maybe when you hear the devastation that is happening, everybody is suffering in Nigeria.
My son was kidnapped from the Polytechnic quarters. I had to go and pay ransom. Apart from that, my younger brother was killed in his shop. In his barbing salon. They went and shot him, and he's gone, leaving his wife and 5 children. We are catering for the family. My father's house was bombed. We have to suffer, rebuilding that hope to give our parents comfort. My father died
Imagine one person
without going back to the village because he said he lived happily with the Fulanis.
Oh.
And he believes that he has even
and they turn back and bite you.
His own family, Fulani children, and raise them along with us.
Still yet, it didn't make them spare him.
Sent to the same school, but it's unfortunate that up till today, Fulanis, Malaysians have come in from different nationalities. They are joining hands with the ones here.
Absolutely.
Continue to perpetrate this evil. As a pastor, I would not want to preach that my people should take arms to go and attack.
No preach.
But I would want to
preach. Don't worry. We'll get to that.
Take arms to protect themselves against anybody that will come to attack them.
Yes.
And I believe that it's scriptural. And so my encouragement is that people should rise up.
Rise up and protect and defend themselves
against insurgents.
Yes.
They are looking for territories to take over. One of the most blessed states in Nigeria and in the whole world is Plateau State. And why the soul of Plateau State is bleeding is because many of these Malaysians are coming to take over the land of Plateau as their own land of inheritance. And if the people of Plateau will allow them to continue taking over one district to another, certainly it will come to pass. More than 50 communities now have been taken over in Barkelagi local government. And with that statistic, 37 are from my own district.
Imagine.
In Barkelagi. My land of nativity is one of those that have been taken. You can't even go there now. And I am a refugee in Haipan.
Imagine.
To be precise, I stayed in Haipan for 24 years.
Imagine.
Since the insecurity that started, most of my people have moved to Haipan as a safe community.
Imagine.
Where
in a country where they have a government, people were driven from their father's land.
Where are we going to run to? Can I run to Kano now? And they will accept me. They will kill me. If I go to Bauchi, will they accept me? They will kill me because I am considered an infidel. And all of this is for Plateau people and its government to arise and identify.
They will not
defend their.
You are still under Nigeria. As long as you are still under Nigeria, nobody is going to rise for you. You see what the man is lamenting. For 20-something years, he left his land. He is a refugee in his own country that has a government. In his own country, his own village, he cannot go back there. They can't go there. For the past 20-something years, his village has been taken away. This is when our Prime Minister was preaching and said that there are people who were born in IDP camp. They got married in IDP camp and they are giving birth in IDP camp. In a country that has a government and no attempts to take them back to their land. And when somebody come and talk about disintegration of the zoo, people will get angry. When we talk about division, that people should go back to their land and defend themselves, protect their life. You don't want it. You don't want it. We will talk about that this is about land grabbing. Some idiots will come and say it's not about land. The Ottoman Danfodio project to go and possess land, that is still what they are pursuing to date. But when we say it, people take it for granted. Oh, why are they saying that? Why are they talking like that? We will continue to bring you evidence from their own media. From their own media. Today, they are forgiving Boko Haram. Even when the people themselves are worried about that forgiveness. People they kill don't want it. But the government is sponsoring terrorists.
Good morning, Maiduguri. This is Shetima Kodima calling from Maiduguri.
Okay, go ahead with your thoughts, please.
Honestly speaking, the reintegration of these criminals back to the society, we are not welcoming it.
Oh.
Why? Because all these
Maiduguri people are the ones complaining.
They did not surrender willingly.
They
surrender because they have been overpowered. They dropped their weapons, their arms, because they were overpowered by our military. And anybody who is doing rubbish and he did not surrender willingly, there is a tendency that he will go back to his menace. In that result, it is not a welcome development at all. What we are trying to say here is, if at all we can cast our mind back to the Bible, our Almighty Allah, who has created the mind of woman, says, if you kill, you should be killed. Any killer, if at all they have the proof that you kill, you should be killed. Why? Because that's the only way peace can restore the society. How can somebody kill your neighbor and kill your brothers and sisters before you and you have witnessed that killing, and today you come and sit nearest neighbor to you? Can it be possible? It will not. Honestly speaking, his ideology is a foreign ideology, which they frame it and push it to us because of their arms markets. That's the only thing. They don't want this tension to end off. If they want this tension to end off, let's not go back to our tradition. Let us go back to our divine laws, who said if somebody chop somebody hand, he has also to chop. If you cut off ear of somebody, let your ear be cut. That is the plain judgment. That is the judgment. That is the plain judgment. But somebody who have killed people and you have given him a certificate, say he has been forgiven, and let him come and settle in the midst of his victim. It cannot work. It cannot work, honestly speaking. It cannot work because what you are telling to the society, what are you telling to the youngest one that crime pays? Are you trying to recruit more Boko Haram, more bandits or what? If somebody has engaged in bandits or Boko Haram, he has killed people, and another killing has been established, let him be killed. Let him be killed. That's the only way we can see justice in our land. But hiding under body law, it cannot help us. Because our orientation is different. Our background is different. Our geographical location is different. Our tradition is different. That's the only way I can see justice can come. If somebody has killed, let him be killed. That's the only plain justice. Thank you so much, and have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Shima, for that. Now, Mario, looking at this, a lot of people would ask, isn't this a situation whereby it would create a sleeper threat in the sense that you have repentant insurgents coming out into the society? What happens if they get reactivated? What happens if out of the blue they go back to their ways and become a menace again to society?
yeah, it's one of the reasons that the society actually think it will not be able to work because of trust problem. We'll come to that after picking this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy weekend. I'm calling from London.
Good morning,
Good morning,
Ade.
Ade.
Thank you for joining us. Go ahead with your thoughts.
I have a problem with whatever the government is doing. Because Burata is the one that started Burata, and nobody stopped them. Even Buhari shoot his out. You see, so they continue it. I will learn from this shit. They'll go back and do house. But what I have issue is this. What about their victim? Who is taking care of their victim? See, that's why I have the issue. So, because this new now, soon they will go back to their states, and their government will arrange to marry, give them good wife, give them good house, so they should enjoy their life. When they have blood in their hand. So, for their victim now will be looking and be watching. Some of them that they rape people, the parents of that who they rape, they die in sorrowful death. When they are thinking of the welfare of their children, they die, they pass on. And now they are one white dress for them that they are sent. So maybe government is now that forgive people who have killed and raped victims and murder people and people continue. And now they want to go and bring jail everywhere we are hearing, and the government is putting police everywhere and having to guide this prison. I mean, I don't know what kind of country we are running. Because human being life now is like chicken. People kill someone. You see? Yeah, I agree with anything getting on here, except one thing. It's not about foreigners. We don't do that here. If you do anything wrong, even if you are 100 years old, and if the death, the committed the crime 40 years, they will arrest you and will put you inside the prison. That's the law. You don't joke with the law. The only person above the law, as far as the United Kingdom is concerned, is our king. Because everything belongs to the king. Majesty. That's all. After the king, there's no everything. The first thing is the law. The obedience to the king. So, but you commit time, you are punished. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't even matter. So you're not worrying at all. Things, boundaries. People who are in charge are here within themselves. Who are finishing instructions. They are not themselves here. So you know, you forgive them. You are right there for them. What about their victims and those who have reported them?
All right, thank you very much, Adi, for that. A lot of Nigerians are portraying their grievances when it comes to the repentant bandits then being reintegrated. And
you have just seen it and you have heard it. That is the situation in the Zoological Republic. And it will never get better. It will get worse. It is important we play these videos to show you what is going on so that you don't think that, oh, it is just about us. Oh, it is the Biafran people online spilling lies. Oh, it is the Biafran people who are not impatient. Oh, it is Biafran people who are complaining. Even the people in the north, they are complaining. But as I said before, because the status quo was put in place by the Zoological Republic itself, because the government itself is sponsoring this atrocity, that is why you can't run away from it. They are the ones sponsoring it. They don't care. They don't even listen to the masses. Look at people calling from all parts of the world saying that this de-radicalization program is a fraud. They don't have any program for those who has been victimized, the victim of the terrorists. There is no program for them. But you are busy conducting program for the Boko Haram. You are busy bringing them out that they are repented. But the people who are committing this crime, people who are victims, there is nothing for them. And you call that a country. Sorry. Let us listen to this also from the media, because we don't speak just ourselves.
let's have a look at the top stories that made headlines on the globe this week. Iran temporarily reopened the Strait of Hormuz on Friday following a ceasefire agreement in Lebanon, raising optimism about peace talks, but Tehran warned that it would close the crucial waterway again if the recent U.S. Navy blockade of Iranian ports continued. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi announced on social media that the strait, a slender choke point in global energy trade, was open for all commercial vessels for the remainder of the U.S. brokered 10-day truce that was agreed on Thursday between Israel and Lebanon, which was invaded by Israel after the Iran-allied Hezbollah militant group joined the fighting. U.S. President Donald Trump, who along with Israel launched the war on Iran on February 28th, that has killed thousands of people and led to the strait's de facto closure, told supporters at a rally in Arizona that Araghchi's announcement marked a great and brilliant day for the world. But subsequent statements and clarifications from both sides left uncertainty over how quickly shipping might return to normal, and some vessels could be observed making unsuccessful attempts to cross the strait on Friday before turning back.
Moments later, US President Donald Trump took to social media saying Iran has just announced that the Strait of Hormuz is fully open and ready for full passage. Thank you, he added on his Truth Social platform. President Trump followed up with a strong message saying the US Navy's blockade on Iranian ships and ports will remain in place until what he described as a deal with Iran is 100% complete. The American leader is also demanding that Iran stop its nuclear enrichment program and hand over to the United States what he called Tehran's nuclear dust. Isn't it interesting, the development? On the one hand, you want to celebrate like President Trump to say that, oh, this is a big deal, we like you, thank you, really sits there. But on the other hand, there's still so much back and forth, and nobody is actually sure if there's an American blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, essentially to stop Iranian oil from either coming out or even going out into Iran. What precisely are we celebrating? And the most important for me, really, before your comment would be, when there is the threat of war or the escalation, is about to happen, we feel the impact almost immediately. But then when they say that, there will be ceasefire, we will open the Strait of Hormuz, it takes like forever before you feel it. Yes, in America, we're hearing that, the price of crude has gone down from the 113 to about 90 something, 89 and everything. But here, nobody is even talking. I mean, it's not even showing on the, on the few, liter of fuel. What we bought for 3 days ago is what is, out there.
But then you always know that's how this society in this part of the world, that's how it works. It takes a while for it to trickle down. And even when it trickles down, it might not be as astronomical as it is in other parts of the world. But then all the same, I think that's just Donald Trump's habit, of his way of showing the world that yes, Donald Trump is working, and he's also sending messages to his allies. I mean, he called NATO paper tiger. So he's trying to take all the glory. This I did this all alone, and I've been able to achieve something. But then, well, yes, definitely. But then critics are skeptical, really, how long this ceasefire will hold, and indeed how safe it is for shipping, through the Strait of Hormuz, because there are reports that this has to go through there has to be permission from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard before some shipping vessels can actually pass through the Strait of Hormuz. And Iran is saying that the US must lift its Navy blockade of Iranian ports, which US President Donald Trump has said is not going to happen until they have a permanent ceasefire. So like he said, indeed, what exactly are they celebrating? That we really have to wait and see.
And a lot seems to also depend on not just the ceasefire between the US and Iran, but also the ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon, which was one of the conditions that Iran gave. I mean, at the end of the day, really, it's about giving peace a chance. It's about the world coming together to say that, okay, what are the issues? Can we negotiate further? And which brings me to what Islamabad, Pakistan is doing to say that, yes, we understand you, Americans of one hand. We also understand the Iranians. Let's come to the middle ground, so that the world can be a better place. And coming from Pakistan, which, as you know, is also hard not to crack when it comes to skirmishes around his own region. I think it's coming. Let's hope that Pakistan will be able to push not further.
I would definitely hope so. But sometimes I just wonder if we really should be optimistic about this agreement, considering Iran that has for decades shouted death to America. And then America came in with this campaign, they killed Ayatollah, they killed their top, military leaders. I'm just wondering how easy really it will be to reach a permanent ceasefire, how easy it will be to reach a middle ground.
Yeah.
Do you see that really happening? Do you see Iran forgiving, all what has happened since February?
I think at some point that we will get there, and you're very correct about the context as to the war. It's not a war that, if you like, that started with Trump for basically it's been on for 7 years. The issues between the US and Iran, and practically every American president has said similar things that Trump is saying, even those who are never president, like Hillary Clinton. So Trump has gone to war, with Iran, and less so that at some point somebody will claim victory, or somebody will just say, let's move on. We've done enough damage to one piece.
Well, when Trump also claiming to purchase their uranium enrichment, which is called nuclear dust, let's see how that works out.
I think most countries agree on that. It's just how they get
Does
to
Iran
it.
agree on that? Well, in other news, Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has signed the 2026 appropriation bill into law, approving total spending of 68.32 trillion naira.
That is all we have to look at on that very section. You have seen the Strait of Hormuz have been opened. There's a ceasefire for temporary ceasefire, and the strait is opened, and we hope that things will get better from there. And we have to still go back again and continue to look into the insecurity in the Zoological Republic. That is the area that bothers us. The insecurity, the government complicity, how Nigerian government is involved in the atrocities that is happening across the country. That is important, and that one is what we are concerned about. We are not much concerned about whatever their so-called President Tinubu is talking or saying. It is irrelevant. The most relevant thing is about the insecurity, and we present it to the world for the world to know that Nigeria is not supposed to be a country. Nigeria is not supposed to exist the next minute. That is what we want the world to know. Nigeria is not worthy to be called a country. It is not worthy to be called a country. We continue to say this, and we say it over and over again, and it is high time the world understand it. That the Zoological Republic is not a country, has never been, and will never be. So the earlier the world understand this, the better for everybody. The earlier they understand it, the better for everybody. And we will continue to bring out proofs and evidence that shows that Nigeria is not supposed to be a country. Nigeria is not supposed to survive the next minute. Nigeria is not supposed to be a country that anybody will encourage to continue to exist. And we will do that now. Let us listen to the program of Charles and what he has to say.
Tonight, the week that was, and what a week it was. A week of contrast and rising questions in Nigeria, from fresh reports of students kidnapped to deepening fears over insecurity. The sense of vulnerability appears to be growing. At the same time, politics is heating up fast. The African Democratic Congress, or ADC, held its convention amid controversy, even as rumors continue to swirl of a possible political earthquake. Rabiu Kwankwaso reported to be officially aligning as a running mate to Peter Obi. How true is this? And on this program, the battle lines were drawn sharply. Atiku Abubakar declared 2027 his final shot and described the presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the worst Nigeria has seen. Peter Obi, in his own interview, defended his political journey, pledging a hardline stance on insecurity and promising to shift Nigeria from consumption to production. The response from the APC was swift. In addition to a right of reply on this program, President Tinubu insisted opposition pressure will not distract him, while making a striking admission that he has, in effect, taken over from himself, linking his administration directly to that of Muhammadu Buhari, marking a change from his government's past position of distancing itself from the Buhari administration. And then another looming disruption. Nigeria's airlines warning they may suspend flights as jet fuel prices soar, threatening yet another layer of economic strain. So tonight, as politics intensifies, pressure builds, and all these developments converge, we assess the week that was, breaking it all down with our top-tier analysts. I'm Charles Eagle, and this is Arise Prime Time. It's been a week that lays bare the fault lines of a nation under strain. In Nigeria, insecurity continues to cast a long shadow. Fresh reports of students kidnapped, families shattered, and a growing sense that nowhere is truly safe. At the same time, the political temperature is rising. The African Democratic Congress, or ADC, pushed ahead with its convention amid controversy, even as whispers of a major realignment grew louder. Could Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso be edging closer to a ticket with Peter Obi? And here on this program, the opposition found its voice. Atiku Abubakar, in a defining moment, declared 2027 his final run and delivered a blistering verdict on the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The response from the APC was swift. President Bola Tinubu saying he will not be distracted, going further to suggest he has, in effect, taken over from himself, linking his leadership directly to that of Muhammadu Buhari. So tonight, we begin with a nation confronting two urgent questions. Can it secure itself, and can its politics offer a credible alternative? And to help us assess the week that was, I'm joined now in the studio by the international multimedia journalist and former BBC correspondent, Dogu Kabara, by the development expert and business and economic analyst, Dr. Tariq Raimi, who's a member of the ruling APC party, and by the policy strategist and group CEO of the Global Investment and Trade Company, Baba Yusuf. Lady and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Let me start with you, Baba Yusuf. Let's start with insecurity and kidnappings. We've seen yet another wave of abductions, with gunmen in Benue State carrying out what's believed to be this country's first kidnapping of students this year. Are we dealing with a failure of strategy, intelligence, or political will in Nigeria?
All of them. All of them. And of course, the intelligence and political will is a takeout of the overall strategy. I'm yet to see any concise, coherent strategy. And like Peter Drucker said, culture will have a strategy for breakfast anytime, any day. So even if there's a strategy, it's only a strategy if we're able to execute it and achieve results. Performance is not measured by events. Performance is measured by results, outcomes, and impacts. And it is very sad because almost every other day, now we have a new dimension. So sad, young children going to ride their jam have been abducted. And time again, we have this what I call a template answer to the issue we have. The commiseration, the very lukewarm feedback from government with regards to the people, the victims and the abducted people, and then the pushback from government for people not to speak truth to power. This is beyond politics, Charles. And every well-meaning Nigerian politician or not should show seriousness with regard to this. Otherwise, we will very soon not actually have a country. And that is a fact. I just hope and pray that reason will prevail, that politicians will realize that unless there's a country they cannot rule over people. I would rather use the word ruling as the case may be until I see decisive leadership, until I see empathetic leadership from people who who went and campaigned and begged and promised to deliver dividends of democracy and now are condescending and behaving as if we don't have an issue while we are actually deep into the abyss of backwardness.
Right. I think you're absolutely right to the extent that what we see in not just Nigeria, but a lot of developing countries is rule, not governance. Let me come to you, Dome Kabara. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, and great to see you again. Now, why do you think the cycle keeps repeating? Attack, outrage, response, and then silence until the next incident. What is fundamentally broken?
I blame Nigerians, the masses, the majority, the followers, because it's true that our heads of state and governors tend to behave like rulers rather than democratic partners or even serious governance merchants.
Indeed.
Yeah. But if people behave like fools, they usually get treated like fools. I'm sorry to say this because there are Nigerians who are not stupid, who are not lazy, who are not cowardly, who are not whatever it is that keeps people silent in the face of oppression and injustice. But honestly, there's a shortage of outrage. Nigerians underreact to outstanding atrocities. So I can tell you 1,000 things that are wrong with President Tinubu, that were wrong with President Buhari, even as far back as Goodluck Jonathan, my own brother, But I've now realized that it's our fault for not fighting back.
That's a good point. Let me come to you, Dr. Rai. You are, of course, I chose to have you speak last because you are ruling APC party. So it was good for you to hear what other people are saying before you sort of respond. And I think both Baba Yusuf and Doni Kubara made very good points that are important learning curves for people in this country to learn to actually practice democracy. But let's talk about this cycle of insecurity that keeps repeating itself. Is Nigeria winning this fight in any measurable way from your perspective as a member of the APC, or are we simply managing a deteriorating situation?
Okay, thank you, Charles. It's very concerning. We are still talking about high rate of insecurity in Nigeria. Even our president, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, acknowledged that the issue of insecurity and fight against insecurity is a work in progress. Our ruling party has not said that we have reached the destination of the fight against insecurity. But there are three things that I want to highlight that we must report. And not simply because I'm a member of Progressive Congress, APC, which is our party in power, but because of I'm a Nigerian concerned, and because I'm a development expert, and there cannot be meaningful development in any country without peace, without security. Foreign direct investment run away from any country where there is no peace or any state or anything. So we are all concerned. But there are three things that we must. First, the lamentation is not enough. What I mean by that is that we must acknowledge that the efforts that the current government is making since President Tinubu came to power in 2023, the budget for security to our Nigerian armed forces has been the largest. In fact, this year alone, the size of that has been budgeted to fight insecurity is equal to the size of the entire budget of Nigeria in 2014.
So what was the value of the naira? That's a consideration. So,
that's a concern that we are making progress. The progress here, are we like rats? Are we, are we making progress? Yes, I would say we are making progress. Government funding has increased, collaboration among the various security armed forces have increased on 94 that there is every one.
Yeah, but what impact is it having on insecurity? Because insecurity seems to be rising as well.
Just like that, the market over the years. If for every attack that is successful by these evil people in our country, our Nigerian armed forces have possibly prevented one. So I believe that one more ground can be covered, progress is being made, and we need to give support to our Nigerian forces. We need to commend them. They are using our help. We need to also give collaboration with international community. And all of us, like I said on the program, that fight against insecurity is an inclusive.
Right, you wanted to say?
I just wanted to quickly say something. First of all, I did mention Goodluck Jonathan. I want to make it very clear that I think there's been a steady downward trajectory since then. I'm not putting him on the same level as
things are getting worse.
Much, much worse. Right. I also agree with everything you said.
Brother Yusuf.
Yes, everything you said, I agree with you. And this we need to, you people had better stop trying to deceive everybody. It's renewed shame, renewed nonsense. We have child soldiers, we have children being abducted, there's no form of insecurity that is not commonplace now. My dear brother, I'm not blaming you.
You can even blame us if you are not blaming you.
I'm not blaming you personally.
Well, we've made that point. I think what is concerning now, Brother Yusuf, is at what point does insecurity begin to fundamentally undermine the legitimacy of the state? Because it seems to be getting progressively worse, and that is very, very concerning.
To be honest, we are there already, and why did I say so? First of all, I mentioned that performance is not measured by results, but by impact. When you were throwing the question to Dr. Nani, you mentioned measurable impacts, and that's deliberate. If we look at the progression of insecurity in Nigeria in the past 3.5 years, places that we never thought they would go to, they are in Niger, they are in Kwara, they are progressing downwards into Nigeria. You see what they are doing, they come at will in Benue, in Plateau. Mr. President promised the widows, the victims in Plateau 2 weeks ago. It will never happen again. These people had the audacity to make it happen again the next day. They are daring the state. They are taunting us. When they kill our soldiers, they wear the uniform of our military and armed forces and go to what is called a mediation, arrangement with government, bodies to say they are mediating with this. In Kasana, this bandit wore the uniform of this assistant commissioner that died on duty in action, and he wore his uniform and came with his gun to the mediation and went home without consequences. So you are now situating it with the situation of this. Of course, they are doing it. They are on social media. We know their handles. They don't even care to cover their faces. They send notices and they come on the day of the notice and they execute. Now they are overrunning brigades, not brigades in urban areas, brigade in the theater of war, and they overrun the brigade. They kill our generals like every other day. Our colonels, we are missing the best of our assets because, first of all, we don't have the decisiveness to ensure that we do the needful in terms of the resource allocation. I agree. You see, you can allocate whatever money you want to allocate, but where are the outcomes? What are we doing about it? And if people fail in their responsibilities, we don't see heads rolling. In other countries, just one incident is enough to take out ministers, is enough to take out garrison commanders and have real wars in there. That is the only way you can have a shock movement out of this issue. As it is today, build up to 2027 election, we have been politicizing insecurity. The ruling party condescends about it, makes it look as if it's no issue, and then the opposition use it to posture while people are dying every day. This is an existential issue that we should take seriously across party lines, and you will deal with it. Otherwise, like I said earlier, it will still come down. You see, I said it in another sister station. Very soon, bandits will be in the Senate and the House of Reps because Nigerians are paying them tax. In the North, they go. It is so bad that people are beginning to have confidence in them. They go to them for mediation. They go to them for protection. and we are saying we are making progress, and we are saying we should not talk about it.
That's a very important point, and that is the point we were making about undermining the legitimacy of the state. But we have to move on because that's very brief.
Security.
I'm not ask a question.
Okay, let me just quickly say that.
We've got to move on.
A security consultant friend of mine has just come back from the northeast, and he says that Boko Haram control the airspace over Borno. That is really frightening. His belief is that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should not be too ashamed to hire mercenaries.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know about the airspace because I know people flying in and out using commercial airlines. So I don't know how factual. I don't know what the parameters of that airspace control is. But let's move on and let me actually come to you, Joan. I'll come back to you, but this is more relevant to her because I'm turning to politics with all its realignments and its controversies. The ADC has pushed ahead with its convention despite legal and structural challenges. Does this show resilience or desperation? And are you in the ADC now? Or are you still purely a journalist?
I'm just a journalist. I'm just an activist. I reserve the right to turn against the ADC if they annoy me.
Indeed.
You know, so I'm like Buhari. I belong to everybody and nobody. So, but at the moment, I'm in the opposition.
Right.
And generally, actually, I have a lot of sympathy for some of
you. Mean you side with the opposition?
Yes.
When you say you're with the opposition?
Yes, I side with the opposition.
Right. Okay.
Which doesn't mean I can see no good effort in what the government does.
Right.
And also doesn't mean I can't see faults.
Right.
But I do have a lot of sympathy also for the faction in PDP that has been thoroughly messed up by BK. I feel sorry for sincere Labour Party people. But yes, at the moment, since I'm more or less obedient, yes, ADC is roughly where I am. And what I would say is that the Nigerian opposition really needs to get its act together if it wants to unseat this hydra-headed, I wouldn't say monster, gentleman who is running this country and literally sucking the oxygen out of the democratic space. You know? They need to get their together. All these people like Dumebi Kachiku coming to mess the ADC up. Every time you want to stand up and do something useful, there's some riffraff coming to cause problems. Look, even at the opposition is in a very precarious position, both low and high. Even at my level, where I'm just running discussion programs online on Twitter or whatever, there's constant sabotage. We started a joint venture with some fellow opposition people a few weeks ago. Everything was going fine. We were supposed to move together as a discussion group. Then suddenly, two of them, who even started the project in the first place, suddenly pulled the rug from under our feet at very short notice. Our program was on Monday nights. We went to go and set up a rival program on Monday nights. And this is just about activists. Are you getting even about
like a children's playground?
Even amongst activists, there's constant sabotage, dishonor, lack of integrity. You know, so if the opposition in this country actually, if we want to make an impact, we have got to get serious.
But that sounds like a fundamental flaw in the Nigerian personality. Well, I mean, it's not about ruling party or opposition.
Yes.
It's about the Nigerian personality.
Yes. This is exactly what I was telling somebody. I get that you can never have large multi-partner law firms, for example, in Nigeria, the way you do in Washington or London or whatever, because they cannot, Nigerians are not good at partnership and bonding.
They're a disputatious people.
Yes. And also egomaniacs. So everybody wants to run their own show. Everyone wants to do numero uno. Even if you give people due respect, they still want to be the only person. I don't know. I have had some really bad experiences in the activist space. You know, I don't even want to talk about another one, a big man who has set up his own party. He's joining ADC and is stabbing people in the back, refusing to refund their money he promised them, all sorts of things. You know? So what I'm trying to say is that I do think on the whole that the opposition people are better. But they are not angels and they need to get their act together. They need to also take a leaf out of President Tinubu's book. In 2013, I think it was, when they did this, 2013, okay. The discipline displayed by the ACN people and the CPC people as they came together to form one entity. We have a lot to learn from that now. Now, of course, it's different when you have several different individuals trying to form a new political party, as opposed to two political parties that already have structures come together. This is a much more complicated process. But I'm just begging your question, please don't disgrace me. You know, some of us have a reputation, some of us genuinely want change. So, not just me, but quite a few of us, put your egos to one side and copy the discipline that Tinubu and Co displayed in 2013. Do you think Tinubu didn't want to be president that time? He did. I know. I was there with Amici in those days. I watched the process at close quarters. Do you think that Tinubu or Buhari liked everybody who was in their camp? I'm sure they didn't. In fact, a lot of them had nothing in common, but they still managed to blend in a very effective way. And that's what I would like the agency to do.
That's a very good point. And let me come to you, Dr. Raimi. When you, from the point of view of the ABC, when you look at the birth of this opposition, are you seeing a serious opposition force or just another fragile alliance that may collapse under pressure, which presumably you're hoping it will?
Because we are in competition, it's not our responsibility to see a settled opposition party. And this is something every sector, every organization, not as we wish them, we wish themselves better because we are struggling from this environment.
You don't wish us well.
No, we wish you well if you wish yourself well. But the important point is that individuality or individualism concept that is happening in ABC, which some people have called not a coalition or a coalition, is the main bane of their problem.
Right.
If they could look at connectiveness, if they could see how they can manage their differences, and see that look, until they get power, until they have power, all the changes they want to make cannot happen. Why we are not, it's not our responsibility, just like it's not the political responsibility to shout the praises of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on giant milestone he has recorded in the economy, even the security that we're talking about. It is also not our responsibility to make wise how they will be able to take power from our president or from our ruling party. So personally, I feel that, like I've always said, it's too late for them because they don't even have any alternative. Thank God we soon get to some of the countries that we have the big ones, the leaders in this party very shortly. You will notice that I watched many Nigerian ones go abroad. I couldn't see any of them talk about anything differently that they would do if they come into power.
Well, they're keeping their powder dry.
So Nigeria cannot, we can't trust such power of the highest position to end parties. People need they might let them come together. President Tinubu, GCF.
Okay, well, let me come to you, Baba Yusuf, before we take a break. You just heard Dr. Raimi, and you yourself, as somebody who is seen as very objective in your assessments, if the ADC party's internal issues persist, can it realistically serve as a credible platform?
None of them is able to nurture a political party from the beginning for 4 years, hold it on 4, instill discipline, instill cohesion, manage diversity, manage conflict. And if you cannot manage the microcosm of political party, then how can you actually lead this complex country that is in dire need of a unanimity of purpose, of purposive leadership? And to convince me personally as an
as a voter. And those teeming number of people that are following them behind, that you can actually provide that alternative over and above talking your way into power. You can't talk your way into power. You can't insult your way into power. You can only do it with strategy, execution, delivering, and leading people properly for the greater good, not for yourself.
And on that very important note, you're watching Arise Prime Time. Plenty more still ahead as we continue our assessment of the week that was. Stay with us. Welcome back to Rise Prime Time, where we offer perspectives on the news and talking points of the day. I'm Charles. Now, if the first half of this program was about rising tension, the second is about competing visions and mounting pressure. On this program, Peter Obi defended his political journey as one driven by principle, insisting he would walk away from any platform that loses its integrity. He laid out a focus on northern agriculture, a hardline stance on insecurity, and a promise to move Nigeria from consumption to production. And the ABC hit back with as much gusto in its right of reply on this program. And beyond politics, the pressure was real, with Nigeria's airlines warning they may suspend flights as fuel prices surge, threatening yet another disruption to daily life. So, as reforms meet resistance and rhetoric meets reality, where exactly is the country heading? And our guest analysts are still with me in the studio as we continue our assessment of the week that was. And they are the international multimedia journalist and former BBC correspondent, Donu Kabara, the development expert and business and economic analyst, Dr. Taufik Rahimi, who's a member of the ruling APC party, and the policy strategist and group CEO of the global investment and trade company, Baba Yusuf. Gentlemen and lady, thank you very much indeed for staying with us. I can't quite remember where we stopped. We're going to you, are we? Okay, let's turn to, or at least let's start by addressing the speculation that's been swirling about, and that is that Rabiu Kwankwaso is now officially aligning with Peter Obi as his running mate. That's the report. We haven't confirmed it, but that's what we heard from members of both his team and Peter Obi's team. If confirmed, how significant would that be for the 2027 race?
Well, I think it would be very significant. And I can tell you, funnily enough, today I was approached by a lady, a doctor in Lagos, who is running something called the OK movement. O for B, K for contact, so OK movement. And she wanted to, solicit my support. And she indicated that there was some such formal agreement that is imminent. So I believe that may happen. I can't say for sure. And I think, it will be a good thing. A lot of obedience don't like conquest, and a lot of conquestors don't like obedience, but they just have to manage themselves. Just like any alliance, they have to manage themselves right. Kwankwaso has a great following in the north, at least in Kano. No obedience to these antecedents. So I think it could work.
Let me come to you, Baba Yusuf, because you are from the north, and not only are you from the north, you're from Kano, and you're from the royal family. Do the electoral arithmetic for us in terms of how significant this might well be.
Well, it looks good on paper, but if you want to be honest, if I'm giving some tidbit in the strategy room to the team, the only way to win a war test is general in the field of politics like President Bola Ahmed. And I'm using this acronym because Mao Zedong said politics is war without bloodshed. That the three principal players, Senator Rabi Musa Kwankwaso with his dedicated Talakawas, Excellency Peter Obi, the 6 million man with his teeming supporters, determined people, very loyal, and with former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's the Colossus, let's not forget about it. You cannot wish away Atiku Abubakar in the political permutations and combinations of this country. So these three personalities have to agree quickly. So if we have an OB Konkoso arrangement, and if that is what will play out, they need the blessings and the backing, full backing of an Atiku. Otherwise, what played out in 2023 will play out. Senator Rabi Musa Konkoso has consistently proven his grassroots, quality. But with profound respect to him also, it is just narrow when you look at the overall Northeast, Northwest, North Central.
Right. And what about the point that Atiku made when he was here, that the split between himself and the government of Kano State has also split his support base?
Well, definitely. Senator Rabi Musa Konkoso is an ultimate spoiler. We call him in Hausa Kadangaram Bakintu, Kakashikakatu, Kabashi Patwa. He's the lizard in the mouth of the pot. You kill him, you spoil the water. You leave him, you spoil the water. So that is how important. And you can see how President Tinubu tried as much as possible to bring him into the APC. And you can see how that is even impacting APC as it were. So, but then, united they stand and have a chance to win, divided they fall. This opposition figures. More so that they started late. We are moving into the election. They are still deciding who should lead and who should follow. So I think it is time for them to sit in a room and agree.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. There was a nation living in peace and unity. Yeah. They are people with love and harmony. Oh, yeah. They saw greatness rise up to its purity. With another people of different culture, a dear heritage, bias and oppressive. Oh, I see. A nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time, nobody gonna praise us. Rather, you all gonna embrace her. With your flag, with your flag, with your flag, with your flag. Oh, yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh, it's my home. Yeah, Biafra is our home.
I reminisce way back 1967. Death toll on the blood couldn't count them even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pops on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. Sitting back in the crib, watching our suffering. Should I talk about the planes dropping shells like rain? Suka had the first taste of a hero's blood. Abagana Zobuni wave was stronger than flood, but the juke is too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone, then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. So bloody name, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my veins. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the world was against us.
Wave your flag over Africa. Welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion. It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion.
We need peace. choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home.